Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a little toddler update for you guys. So this is my son named Will. Can you say hi?
No.
No. This is my son Will, and he is just about 2.5 years old. So he turned 2 over the summer and will be 2.5 in December. So we're just about a month shy of being 2.5. And I wanted to just share a little bit about what life is like with a 2.5-year-old and just some of the things that we're currently going through. Wanted to share a little bit about our current schedule, potty training. So wanted to touch on that a little bit, as well as Will's eating habits, how sleep is going in our house, and just different things like that. So thanks so much for joining. My name is Emily, and let's just jump right in. So one of the first things that I wanted to touch on a little bit was our just current schedule with a 2.5-year-old. My son goes to daycare Monday through Friday. So my husband and I both work full-time outside of the home, and he is in an in-home daycare, which we absolutely love. He's been there since he was 12 weeks old, and we anticipate him being there potentially until kindergarten. They do have a preschool program there, and we're absolutely blessed by it. They're amazing, amazing people. And so during the week, he's obviously there at daycare, and they have a very structured schedule during the day, and then we honestly just kind of follow that same schedule over the weekend. So Will typically wakes up anywhere between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. every day. My husband takes my son Will to daycare every day, and he typically gets there about 8:15 or 8:30, and then spends the full day there until I get off work at 4:30, and then I immediately pick him up. So he doesn't eat breakfast here at the house, and we typically just let him sleep in as late as we can. I think the latest my husband will wake him up is around 7:45. Can you say hello?
Hello.
Say, my name is Will.
My name is Will.
You're just a good boy, huh? I love you. What you playing?
This is Honey.
Is that Hudson Hornet? Yeah. Do you love your cars?
The name Honey.
Name is Hudson Hornet. That's right. Good job.
Lightning.
Is that Lightning McQueen? Good boy. And so he typically will wake him up around 7:45 if he happens to sleep in that late. And then really they just kind of get dressed and get going in the morning. So he'll typically have breakfast there. He's not a big breakfast eater. He doesn't seem to have much of an appetite just kind of first thing in the morning. So on the weekends, we usually don't have breakfast till close to 9 a.m. And then lunch is usually around 11:30 or 12. And he currently is only taking 1 nap a day. And to be honest with you, that is starting to get a little bit sparse. You okay? That is starting to get a little bit sparse. We definitely go days on the weekends where we don't take a nap, and he seems to do pretty good. So we definitely will let him not take a nap if he doesn't seem super tired, or if we have something going on that day and it's just, a nap is hard, or sometimes he'll kind of power nap in the car. But when he, does want to take a nap, or, we feel like he needs to take a nap, it's usually around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He is consistently still taking a nap Monday through Friday at daycare. And so we try and keep him on the same schedule over the weekend, but again, we're a little bit more, flexible on the weekends. So he is napping usually around 2. It's typically about 2 hours, getting up around 4. Dinner is typically around 5:30 or 6. And then we are trying to do bath time in bed around 8 p.m. So we are pretty comfortable with him going to bed kind of late. Again, I don't typically get off work until 4:30, so that means him and I aren't getting home until 5, or sometimes a little after 5. And then my husband will sometimes work as late as 6 p.m. And so honestly, putting him to bed any earlier than 8 just feels like we then don't get any time with him in the evenings. And again, he seems to do really well with a little bit of a later bedtime. And so he is usually not consistently asleep until about 9 or 9:30. So again, we typically do bath time right around 8 p.m. So by the time we, do bath time and all of our, kind of nighttime routine, we're typically in bed, I would say by 9, and then he's usually asleep within that 30 minutes. And so that is our current schedule of my 2.5-year-old. The other thing that I wanted to touch on was potty training. So Will is currently, I would say, mostly potty trained or fully potty trained. So again, he turned 2 in June, and honestly just showed kind of an interest in potty training at that point. He would watch, my husband and I go to the bathroom. Again, I know as a parent, you have very little time to yourself. So to be honest with you, I was very open with going to the bathroom with the door open. So was my husband. So he definitely had an interest in it. And so right around his 2nd birthday, we just started kind of consistently putting my son on the toilet after bath time. So just as a part of our nighttime routine. And he started going to the bathroom in the potty, and we, made a big deal about it, and he seemed really excited about it. And so right around August, we just kind of dived right into potty training, and it definitely felt early because he was just barely over 2 at that point. But he definitely showed signs of being ready. He was going, a much larger amount of time in between needing diaper changes and things like that. Are we talking about the potty? Do you go pee-pee and poo-poo in the potty now?
No.
You do, because you're a big boy. So again, it honestly felt like our potty training journey felt really pressure-free. I didn't feel pressured because he was so young. I didn't feel like we were on any sort of a time frame. We just were really casual about it, but also consistent about it. And I think that's what helped get him, comfortable with going to the potty. We definitely did a reward system with him. So he would get some sort of an reward, whether it was a little toy or a piece of candy or a cookie or something, whenever he did successfully go to the potty. And again, it just kind of felt really casual. And I think that's what helped, is it, we didn't put a lot of pressure on him. We also didn't put a lot of pressure on ourselves. Our daycare was very, open to, sure, let's try it, and started consistently taking him to the potty during daycare hours as well. And like I said, it took about 2 months. He's consistently in underwear now, other than nap time and at bedtime. He still is in a pull-up. Most of the time during nap time, especially when he's at daycare Monday through Friday, they still put him in a pull-up for nap time. And then I put him in a pull-up every night before bed. But other than that, he is accident-free. I would say he's been accident-free for a little over a month now. And so we are just, we're going strong with our potty training journey. So it's been really good. So, yeah? And so leave me a comment down below if you would like me to do a full potty training video. I'd be happy to share our experience. I know that we potty trained super, super early compared to, what you're told for, when the right time is to potty train for a little boy especially. I've always heard that little boys tend to potty train way later. But, again, for whatever reason, this was the right time for us and it worked. And I would be happy to share our experience with, with any of the mamas out there. So just let me know, leave me a comment down below, and I would be happy to share our journey with you guys. So the other thing that I wanted to touch on was sleep. And so I will be completely honest with you. Will has been a pretty terrible sleeper his whole life. So he didn't consistently start sleeping through the night until he was about 6 months old, and it was for a very short period of time. So right around 6 months, I did kind of a very, I say gentle sleep training. I didn't necessarily let him full-blown cry it out, but I definitely would try and let him settle himself when I felt like he wasn't super upset or that it hadn't been a significant amount of time. But he only consistently slept through the night until close to 8 months. And then that 8-month sleep regression just killed us. He started consistently nursing through the night again, and I started letting him sleep in our bed. It just made, you know, the night so much easier. I could just nurse him while I was laying down, and then he could fall back to sleep really quickly. But then he got super comfortable sleeping in our bed, and then would get very upset when we would put him in his crib. So really between 8 months and I would say about 22 months, he was pretty consistently sleeping in our bed, which I, you know, am a component, you know, I'm a huge, believer in what works for your family is what is best for your family. And I know a lot of other mamas that co-sleep and it works great for them. It was just something that I definitely enjoyed and enjoy now still, but I just found that him and I and my husband all in one bed together just equaled crappy sleep for the whole family. And so I was pretty adamant to get him in his own bed. So I would say it was around 20 to 22 months that we actually ended up transitioning him into his own full-size bed. So I think that, at least this was my theory, he was sleeping excellent in our bed. And I think he honestly just got used to sleeping in a bed, and he had a lot more space and it was a lot more comfortable for him. It wasn't a crib mattress. And so I just thought, hey, why not? He's going to eventually need a big bed anyways. And I liked the idea of a full-size bed because then I could lay down with him still if I wanted to and sleep with him, or, you know, help snuggle him before bed and things like that. So we transitioned him into a full-size bed, and we just have the little railings that go on the side right around 20 or 22 months. And it was amazing. He started sleeping in his own bed. He loved it. We did it up really big, Cars themed, and got him all new Cars pillows and comforters and everything. And it was really, really good. I would say that it's been within the last 4 or 5 months that he has started getting out of his bed in the middle of the night and coming into our bed. And I would say, honestly, most nights he's doing that. So putting him to sleep in his own bed is going really well. Typically, my husband and I will lay down in bed with him. We'll do stories and that sort of thing. And then we basically trade off who's going to lay with him until he falls asleep. You know, it's either my night or his night, and one of us will just lay with him, honestly, until he falls asleep, and then we leave his room. And I would say typically it takes less than half an hour, and then that allows kind of the other parent to have a little bit of time for themselves. And then with him sleeping in his own bed, that then allowed time for my husband and I to spend some time together. We could watch a show, I could get the dishes done. So it just kind of set ourselves up better with him falling asleep in his own bed, us being able to shut the door, and then kind of have our own time before my husband and I went to sleep. And then I would say pretty consistently anywhere from 2 to 4 a.m. When my son does wake up in the middle of the night, which is, again, most nights he's not consistently sleeping through the night, even at 2.5 years old. So I don't know if it's something that I've done or if it's something that, you know, I don't know what it is. But honestly, at this point, we all sleep pretty good, other than he will still get up and he can get out of his bed all by himself. He can open his own bedroom door by himself, and he basically will just run down the hallway and curl up in our bed. And so I get a little snuggle time with him as well too. And honestly, I don't mind it. So it's working for us right now. He will occasionally wake up in the middle of the night and not be able to settle himself. And so sometimes I'll go lay with him in his bed if he wakes up in the middle of the night. And sometimes I'll finish the night in his bed, which again, I don't mind either now that he has you know, a full-size bed, and it's very comfortable for both him and I to sleep together if we want to. So that's kind of where we're at on sleep at 2.5 years old. It's definitely not where I want to be, and it's definitely not where I expected us to be, to still have a child that's consistently waking up throughout the night, but that's just honestly where we're at. So definitely leave me some tips, comments, any advice that you may have for me, but that's where we currently are at on sleep. So the next thing that I wanted to chat about was a little bit about eating. So my son has recently developed an appetite of a grown man. I think he's definitely in a growth spurt right now, but he is eating everything and anything and eating really well, which is amazing. I would say it was right around a year that he started eating really crappy, and I just was really worried and wondering when he was going to get his appetite and if, you know, he was getting enough nutrients and things like that. And I would say 2 years old and on, he has had a solid appetite every day. He will consistently eat a full meal every meal time. He is also, the in-home daycare that he's at Monday through Friday is mostly vegan. And so he is eating a ton of fruits and vegetables Monday through Friday during the day, which is amazing. I'm super excited about that and loving that. And so I feel like I can be a little bit more lax in the evenings and on the weekends. And so honestly, he just kind of eats, you know, typical, you know, kid food. So on any given night, he will typically have some sort of a protein, whether that is a chicken nugget or sausage or a corn dog or, you know, pizza, just kind of whatever we are kind of doing as his main dish. And then he'll always have some sort of a fruit or a vegetable, or both. And so right now he's loving peas and carrots. So I've been doing the freezer bags, the steamable freezer bags of peas and carrots. That usually will last a couple of days. He loves berries, so we'll do either strawberries. What? What are you saying? No. Hey. I said don't push it. Remember?
I think my McDonald's.
I think it was a truck that was driving by. And so he loves berries, he loves oranges, he loves watermelon is his favorite, and then typically like peas and carrots or green beans on the side. He also loves rice, so occasionally, like if I'm doing sausage, I'll do it with rice, so he can have sausage, rice, a fruit and a vegetable. So that's just kind of a typical meal. He likes macaroni and cheese, loves pasta, so sometimes I'll just do kind of a veggie pasta with marinara sauce and then a fruit and vegetable on the side. So just kind of easy stuff. I am not a huge cook myself, and so I don't make a ton of kind of elaborate meals for myself and my husband. We usually eat, honestly, like kind of easy meals during the week. And so right now, Will is eating usually a totally separate meal than what my husband and I eat, and that's just kind of working for us right now. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with putting a kind of a separate meal together for him. It's what's working for us, and it's going really well. Hey, Willow, come here. Come say bye. Can you come say bye-bye? Can you come say bye-bye and blow kisses? Mwah!
Bye.
Say, see you later. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Can you say, please subscribe? Say, hit the thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Yeah, hit that thumbs up button if you like videos like this. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.